I saw this video of it was Twitch streamers and they were shaving their head for charity. Have you seen this?
No.
And they like the guy was on stream shaving his head, and he realized that because they wear headphones all day, it had fully indented into his skull.
Oh, yeah,
He
I
had
saw
like
that.
a lowered section of the middle of the top of his forehead.
Holy wow.
Yeah. And it was and he was just shaving. He was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Like he found out on stream. And now I get really nervous when I'm wearing headphones. But it's good to be back, boys.
It's great to be
It's
back
good to be
here.
back. We're doing something we haven't done in so long.
Oh my God. What is
The
it?
boys are back in town.
That's us.
And
This is a toothpick edition of Truly Rotten Potatoes. I don't know if you can hear it. There's something a little bit different in my voice today, but you might be able to get it. I've got a toothpick in my mouth.
He's got a toothpick. Toothpick Quinn over here. We've got the original gangsters. We've got Mitchell Gosling. Hey, it's me, Mitch. We got Morgan Quinn. Hi, it's me, Morgan Quinn. And we got Declan from the podcast. Hi, it's me, Declan.
Can I do my Declan impression?
Okay, we'll all do a Declan.
G'day, it's me, Declan Shrub.
I think he's a bit more nasal than that.
Yeah, think
That's rude.
Jerry Seinfeld, and then just put a little Australian twang in there.
Hey,
What's the deal with this shit?
that was good.
With this, cunts.
That was pretty good, man.
What's the deal with Vegemite? It's so salty. All right, boys, we are actually back. Hayden is dead as usual. We've been off for a long time, but we've been busy doing other things like not hanging out, not watching old movies that have 0% ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, not talking about them on microphones. Just so busy.
That's right. And much like the brother in the movie we watched today, we had to scatter Hayden's ashes across a lake. It's unfortunate that
He was smoking and he had like the end of the cigarette was all
he's
ashed
like,
up.
would you scatter this across a lake if you see one in northern Canada?
But we have been hanging out. Like we've been working on a music video as a gang of four.
That was fun. As a gang of
Yeah.
of four?
Not
Yeah,
for the
well-
band Gang of Four, but as a Gang of Four.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, Hayden wasn't there today when we worked on it, but he was there the other days. So
Well, he died.
yeah,
so
so
True.
it's understandable.
and also Morgan and Hayden have been gallivanting around this great country of ours, Australia.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And they've been playing
the
shows.
Brothers Reef.
The Brothers Reef have been playing shows.
Been
Big
up and down
reef.
the coast, left and right the coast, back and forward the coast. Go the coast.
Up the coast.
the coasties.
So I guess the
coasts.
answer is Best Coast or Lost Coast.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, correct. And get there this Saturday to enjoy more of those kind of things. Lost Coast being a band that's playing with us at Smith's this weekend. I'll go on if you guys want me to keep plugging something.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, that's you've reached the quota for the
That's all
show.
we need.
I will just
Yeah.
say that at this point, we are a good band. Big Reef is a good band. We finally reached good status.
It
And
took you a bloody while to get there, though.
I'll wring your neck.
It's this kind of back and forth that gets me coming back.
This is what
Yeah.
gets me coming back.
The sad thing about not recording episodes is when we hang out, we can't do banter, we
have to
can't make
save it up.
jokes. It's just
Yeah.
all serious business.
Yeah, Declan makes us shut it down.
Comedically, I got blue balls right now, boys. And also in
And
every other way.
testicularly,
Yeah. Also.
red balls. Anyway, we watched a movie.
We
watched
did.
a movie from the
hell?
official list of Rotten Potatoes.
Now,
watch it.
before we jump in, usually we
I'm
do
ready to jump, Mitch. I'm ready to jump.
we introduce
Don't
the
hold me
title. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Morgan, what was this movie called?
Ooh, it's called like The Last Days of American Crime.
Yes,
Yeah, that
he
is
did it.
correct.
Oh
that
my
is
God.
correct. I
I can't
thought I
believe
would
I
get
did
you
it.
on that
I'm
one.
never good at those kind of things.
To be fair,
I was trying to fuck you over.
Yeah.
I don't,
no,
I don't
thanks
know
for-
why I thought this, but I legitimately thought it was called The Last Days of American Kill for at least an hour. Of the
You were
movie.
saying it during the movie.
And I wasn't joking, but afterwards I played it off like, no, I always knew that was the joke version of the title.
Yeah, you were sweating profusely.
Yeah. I don't know why, because that is a title that makes no sense. The Last Days of American Kill. It's like a badly translated into English title.
There were a lot of things that were badly translated in this movie, directed by someone Megaton. Wow, I'm really remembering all the names today.
You're
Yeah.
killing
I
it.
deserve a congratulations from Matthew and Declan.
I mean, Matthew, Mitthew,
Oh,
Mitthew.
Mitthew.
I'm glad that you remember the director's name. We did see it on screen about less than 5 minutes ago.
That's true.
We did notice that his last name was Megaton. and we said he should direct Transformers movies. One of us said that was good. Do you remember?
Yeah, I laughed. So I must have said
I laughed the first time, but I'm not going to this time.
Yeah.
Well, Olivier Megaton, known for directing The Transporter 3. So
Ooh,
maybe
that's similar to Transformer.
start on transporting, go to transforming.
Is Transporter a bald?
Yeah,
Jason Statham?
He's a bald boy. Yeah.
I think when I hear you say Transporter, say it again for me.
Transporter.
Yeah, I get the Hitman series of video games pop into my head.
Yeah.
'Cause that's also a bold guy
Bald
with
boys.
guns.
Yeah. They make me sick.
I can't watch Breaking Bald anymore.
I was going to say when you watch tennis and they hit the ball and they get the little bald boys to bring.
I'm like, get out some hairy kids. Come on. Get some hair on these kids.
Loving this toothpick.
So
edition.
this was a movie. We were actually going to watch John Henry, which was the next movie. This is a movie from 2020. It's on Netflix as well. So if you're still using your parents' Netflix and they haven't given you the old household lockout since the last episode we did, that's a new thing Netflix is doing.
Are these the lockout laws that people would? Because I don't watch the news very much.
Yeah.
You guys know that about me.
Netflix
But
started
there
in
was like
Sydney.
a year where I was being yelled at for not being in my house by everyone that would see me. Was that what
That's
this
right.
is?
Yeah, Netflix saw too many people king hitting each other on the
That's true.
street, so they started this lockout laws.
Because I had my headphones on the whole time. People were just in my face like, but they were talking about my Netflix account and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
if you have access to Netflix, you can search the last days of American crime and you can watch this 2.5 hour bonanza.
Oh, yeah. And if you're having a bit of trouble staying awake, maybe try a bit of red cordial.
Oh, yeah. Get a fire engine into you.
Get a bit of a fire engine. Get some sugary snacks because
Go up to the bar. Like, I know it's scary. It's the first time you've done it. But if you don't feel certain, Paul over at the Pokies, he's a good bloke. You know,
he's
a bit
pretty nice.
Yeah, he's red. He's one of the reddest men I've ever seen.
And he smells, but, you know, he knows how to talk to the barman.
Yeah.
And you know you can't. So
You know you
Oh,
can't.
you know
You know
you
you
can't.
can't.
That was okay. I wasn't sure if you finished that sentence or just decided halfway through
just stopped.
to abandon it,
No.
Just stop.
like an old dog.
I thought you were calling me a cunt.
Yeah. It felt like that's
you
what I
can't.
said, but sorry, my anxiety's crawling
Hey, but
up,
what
creeping
what
up.
if Ace Ventura was Australian? I think it would go a little bit like this. Alrighty then, you cunt. And you call it Aussie Ventura. AC.
Os Ventura.
AC Ventura.
AC.
or would he just be called the Crocodile Hunter?
Yeah, I guess.
Is that what he
it's
would
the same.
basically be? Because that's the same, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's the same guy.
Yeah.
What was the Crocodile Hunter's catchphrase? Oh,
Crikey.
Of course, crikey.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was about to say, no, that was Crocodile Dundee.
Crikey then.
But if the Croc Hunter came to popularity nowadays and he wasn't on, say, Network 10 with a nice little 6 p.m. show, what if he was on, I don't know, YouTube or TikTok? Would he have a more edgy catchphrase and what would it be?
Yeah.
I'm not going to fuck these crocs, but I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd love
We're
to
not
hear-
here to fuck Crocs. Well,
But I am.
well, I am.
But I might have a bit of a roll around. Ooh.
We should start the Crocodile Hunter podcast. And
Rewatch the show.
It's just audio of him doing what he does or did before
What,
he was
grunting and
slayed by a
gone.
stingray.
Oh,
Yeah,
Slain.
she's a beauty.
yeah,
Just that.
and just the sound of like him wrestling in mud with crocodiles, and the sound of like crocodiles snapping, like that very funny apple bite sound that I've probably played on this podcast.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
You know what I'm thinking is when there's UFO conspiracies or, you know, especially the ones that are like a dead alien body was in this one and the government's covering up and everything, and you start to ask yourself, how many people would have to know about that? How would it stay secret? And why hasn't the footage of the crocodile hunter being killed ever leaked?
That is crazy.
It's true. We still don't know. I think it would have sounded a little something.
Do we think that perhaps it was an alien that took a bite out of him that sounds like... I don't think Morgan's got it ready.
Sorry, guys. The bit is being prolonged for a Hungry Jack's ad.
Yeah,
Which we are open to sponsorships. We have a very short amount of episodes left. So, Hungry Jack's, if
Very
you would like to
handsome
pay
man.
us,
Yeah, you used to be able to whip out YouTube and just show a video, and then if you don't have premium, now you've got 45 seconds of ads to
a
skip
little
through.
something like this. That's what food sounds like.
Now let's transition from the last days of Steve Irwin's life to the last days of American Crime Story, the third. And the title is quite literal. I wondered, what could this mean? The last days of American Crime, but it's a big part of the plot.
So just quickly, before we get into it, do we want to give first impressions before you watch the movie, what you thought it might have been? Because I'm going to say this looked to me like Killing Me Softly, the movie by the director who did Chopper. He did Blonde. It's about Obama-era America.
Gandolfini's in it.
Gandolfini's in it.
Brad Pitt.
Star of the movie.
I've seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It ends with
McNair,
just like Obama talking on the news, like doing speeches. And
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah. And it's about
Ray
sort of-
Liotta's in it, I think.
Yeah, and it's about Obama's America, sort of dry crime drama, a little bit sad, not cool. Just I generally liked it, kind of boring though.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that's what I was gonna get, and that's not. No,
This was not an art house movie.
Yeah.
This was your mainstream explosions and gun violence, car chases, a lot of kind of brooding action hero type lead characters that are incredibly boring, have no personality, but squint their eyes a lot and nod and don't really say much. There were multiple scenes of people sliding things across desks to each other, like, I don't know, a glass of scotch or, I don't know, a coin or something.
Yeah, and it's always obvious when people have ideas on a particular day and they're like, oh yeah, let's try this. And then 5 minutes later, you'll see them do the same thing, like slide another object across, and they'll do it several times.
Yeah.
And then you won't ever see it again. Like they were just in a zone on that day, but there's no consistency throughout the film.
And you picture that the director was like, man, that if you use the edges of your fingers to slyly slide this to that character, that'll look cool on film. And then you see that happen in like 3 scenes in a row, and you're like, that guy just loves that move.
I like the first time you see that at the bar, and I know we haven't talked about what the movie's about, but it doesn't really matter. When he moves it, it does feel like it's meant to go further, but it sort of just stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's too close to him anyway, so he can't have known that.
So this is just a bartender scene. Main character has ordered a drink. We start the scene on the bartender sliding the drink to them. You can do that where they do a cool slide along the bar and they catch it, something like that. This was about a 10 centimeter slide. This was very close to the guy's hand already, and he just kind of gingerly nudged it towards him.
This was saying, I care about you. We have a good rapport. You're not just some customer. Like, I'll lean in and I'll actually go that extra, not mile, centimeter, and I'll just nudge it across to you.
But I'm not going to hand it directly to you because that's,
No,
I
that's
guess,
gay.
unprofessional.
Sorry, unprofessional. But it was an Irish pub, so they were probably all homophobic.
This is true.
He had an Irish accent. There was an Irish flag. They were all drinking Irish whiskey.
And we thought that might have come up as a plot line, Irishness.
I actually found it hard to know where we were early on because there was Irish characters. The main character was clearly South American, but they kept showing cable news, which explained the plot of this movie over and over again. I'd probably say we cut to the news at least 10 times in this movie. And 2 or 3 of them additional, you just heard the news in the background, kind of like letting you know that this thing that's happening is still happening.
Totally superfluous and just, but only for the first hour and a bit of the movie. And then we stopped getting updates and we stopped getting countdowns for what is the crux of the movie, which, you know, would be fun. Let's not talk about the most important elements of the movie.
You know what, though? It was a lot of us catching up at that point.
Yeah.
Well, after the hour point, it was a lot of discussion like, are we in a flashback? No, I thought the first scene was a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's just not well made.
Yeah. And we also started off with narration, just very much like this is this person, this is how they know this person. But the person doing the narration was not introduced into the movie for at least 10 minutes, which is always strange because you start going, who is telling me this? Why are they, they're not the main character because I'm already following the main character who is a male, but I'm hearing a female voice explain who everyone is.
Do you guys remember the first few minutes was him doing the voiceover though?
Did he start it?
Yeah.
Well, I think...
Because he was...
right?
Yeah. Because he was talking about petrol and stuff. And it was like...
Yeah.
We don't,
well, he
I
was
don't know
doing
why
a
we need
speech.
diesel.
He was doing a speech to... So just for the audience, our main character has a guy in a bathtub that's full of brown water. You figure out that it's gasoline. and it's not poo, because it doesn't smell that way.
Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not poo.
Come on, guys. So the
Oh wait,
The main character's torturing this guy.
the main
to
character
get
is
information.
torturing a man. He's all bloodied up, and it sort of ends with a sort of threat. I don't know what the stakes of that scene actually was.
Yeah, I can't even remember what information he was trying to get from him. But like any good torture scene in a movie, the characters seem to be willing to withstand the torture up until a certain point when they finally give the information they were probably going to give the whole time. It's very rare that you see what I would do in that situation where I'm being tortured, whereas I go, hey, before you even put those clamps on me, they're in this warehouse, this guy's the boss, I'll give you the whatever you need. And then they go, oh, okay, cool. And then they probably still shoot you anyway. They always still shoot you afterwards. But
Sure.
you go, I'd rather just get shot than have to get tortured, still give the information, and then get shot. That's just a lose-lose for me.
Yeah, it's true. But they would be upset visibly. I mean, I've seen people in this kind of situation that want to torture me, and if I don't allow them to torture me just a little bit, you disappoint them. And as a people pleaser, somebody that kind of came from a neglectful home and never really learned how to connect with people emotionally. I like to please my people that are torturing me, and that's just one little trick about how you can do it. Just let them torture you.
The other thing we noted in some of these torture scenarios is maybe the main bad guy is torturing the main good guy, and then at some point the main bad guy goes like, all right, you haven't given me the information, so I'm going to walk away, and then like a way bigger guy is going to come in, sometimes with a toolbox full of utensils, sometimes just like he's going to beat you up because he's better at beating you up than I am. And that kind of happened in this, but there was a twist. And not in this scene. This was way later.
I'd like to see a guy walk in with, he's carrying a briefcase and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, oh, what's in that briefcase? He's got a long duster jacket and he's got a limp, and we don't get a good look at him. He sits down at the table and he starts taunting this guy by just eating a delicious steak in front of him. Because, when you're being tortured, you don't get a good meal.
One of those ones where he's really
unless
chewing.
you really please the people. If you allow them to torture you, then they will give you a good steak meal.
So you're eating the steak, which is part of the torture, and you're chewing it, really enjoying it, but talking through the chew. Where you got like a half mouthful, and you're going, oh man, you're gonna miss steak when I kill you in a while, because steak is good. That's one of the things people miss when they
and
die.
you're tired there, and you're like, stop, this is torture.
Just give me a bite.
That's the idea.
Anyway, so the guy in the gasoline tub, he puts a cigar in his mouth and then he lights it.
Well, hold on. So our hero,
the hero of the
lights
story,
a cigar,
main character, the
puts
guy
it
he's
in
torturing.
his foe's mouth.
He puts it in the guy he's torturing's mouth.
Whose hands are tied up as well.
His hands are tied up behind him. But essentially, like, he has to keep sucking on the cigar, but he's lit the cigar in his mouth. He's covered in gasoline. Anyway, it's fucking stupid.
It's basically like, hold on to this burning cigar as long as you can, and the second you drop it or it ashes enough on the gasoline around you, you'll blow up and die.
Yeah. The problem is, like, usually when ash drops from a cigar or a cigarette, it's just ash. It might be hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that it could cause a little bit of a...
Every now and then, if, I'm like smoking a cigarette or something like that, I'll go, because my fingers have been burnt by a little bit of ash that's still hot.
Right, yeah. I guess that could work. But, just the whole idea of this guy smoking a cigar, and because he's smoking, he actually is inhaling, I hope not inhaling, but he's taking it into his mouth and then exhaling from his mouth. Like, I have to get through this cigar kind of thing. But if you're in that situation, you just be like, just hold it between your teeth.
Don't breathe it in.
Breathe really gently through.
Hope that it just goes out.
You could start chewing on it and that would probably do it.
Yeah.
But it gives...
just munch it down and just swallow it. You would totally just be like, I'm going to eat this whole cigar and burn my throat and not die. I mean, I've been in that situation many times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Smoking a cigar, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And and deciding to eat the cigar. if I was being tortured, would I do this? Yes, I would.
And so the cigar gag is basically to give our main character the chance to have this guy kind of kill himself and give our main guy the chance to get down the stairs and out of harm's way of the impending explosion.
So that an explosion can happen that he can walk away from.
Right.
So we get a cool, like, he's walked down the stairs and then bam, out the
the house
window.
is full of people that he killed before and they're all bloody.
Yeah.
This movie sucked.
But the first scene, like, that was cool, man. I didn't know what was going on.
Fun.
But then we quickly
was
learned
fun.
the main plot of this movie is that in a couple of days, crime is going to be impossible for Americans.
They're going to outlaw crime.
Crime, that's illegal.
Yeah.
They're going to make doing illegal things illegal.
So it's basically like The Purge. But in The Purge, there's one day a year where a crime is legal and anyone can kill anyone and get away with it. It's like the way that you get all your violence out of your system is you have that one day, you wait for that, and that's like a free-for-all day. Most people lock themselves in their buildings in The Purge.
Those are fun movies.
In this one, there is a day where everyone's brain is going to have some sort of thing called the API activated, which basically means that when you go to commit a crime, you get like a loud ringing in your ears and you can't commit crimes. So it's like people are basically being physically brainwashed, controlled to not commit crimes. And there's just this big countdown where the whole movie is like, in 7 days, the API will be kicking off. And then it keeps showing the news and showing how it works. We've got this in our brains. And you're like, yeah, the people who have voted for this or are aware that this is being installed would know the details for a long time. But I guess, there's like live countdowns everywhere in this movie about when that point is going to start.
Yeah, it would have been in the conversation for a long time. And not just in America, everybody would have been talking about it all around the world. I don't think they ever mention what API stands for either.
I think they did at the beginning. Peace. I think Peace
Initiative.
Oh,
Yeah.
American Peace Initiative.
Yeah. But okay, can we just quickly talk about what we
learned?
Right now. What the crimes people actually want to commit are at the very beginning of the movie.
Because after he blows this guy up at the start, he walks through the town and we see people committing all sorts of crimes. It's crime city over here.
The police aren't even bothering getting involved.
So we're talking about people beating each other in the streets. One topless lady dancing on top of a car and having people kind of holding $1 bills at her. So she's basically a stripper, but just in public in the middle of the day.
Yeah, she's doing what she would normally do, but just in public.
And without getting paid for it.
Yeah. And I don't think stripping is a crime, but maybe in this near future
maybe
world.
in the street on a car, but also like she's not getting paid for it. So I don't understand what she's doing.
Yeah, public nudity. There are a lot of men urinating in the streets as well. Like there was a 5-minute montage, I think, of just people unzipping their pants and pissing on buildings.
And every time I think that it was really weird that their fits, their clothes were just not quite fitting them, you know? Like falling off their body, pissing down the streets.
That's the dystopian future we were in.
I suppose so.
When the clothes don't fit, you must acquit.
That's right.
You must acquit doing crimes.
So it's got to be about this time that we get to the bar for the first time.
Well, first we shoot someone trying to run into Canada, but
then we get shown that everybody's like trying to get out of America and go to Canada.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to leave. They've closed all the flight paths. They've closed everything down.
So they have border security, but not like on the kind of wall type border, but just like you have to go through this gate to get through the country.
There's a gate,
and the people standing in front of it are armed, and if you try and run through, they'll shoot you on sight
with machine guns.
There's a point about halfway where they have a news bulletin on the radio or whatever where they just say like the Supreme Court has upheld the kind of you cannot leave the country order. So they're just like leaving leaving the United States is illegal in this world as well. Mm-hmm. So you have to stay and you won't be able to commit crimes. And I'm saying this sounds like a good America.
Yeah.
I'm keen for it. But the problem
they should have called this movie Utopian Society.
Yeah. The problem is that the main character is like a notorious bank robber and he wants to do crime. So to him, he's like, this is the worst law that's ever going to come into it. And I'm sitting there going, well, that sounds safe.
Yeah, as a criminal, and I imagine a lot of criminals in this universe felt this way, not very happy with this, API business.
But they're not happy with any of the laws that get passed that make more things criminal acts.
They're criminals.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, I'm surprised, like, here's the thing, not to take it into the real world or anything like that, but I mean, when Americans thought that they were losing Donald Trump, they went crazy. They were ready to like kill the nation. It's almost like if you commit a crime, we're going to send a sonic wave into your brain so that you can't do anything. People would probably shoot up.
Yeah, there was no civil unrest
There was on like the last day.
Yeah.
There was
The
they showed a
last
little bit
few
of
hours.
rioting.
Literally,
Yeah.
when they were like, in 1 hour, there'll be the API,
yeah.
and everybody's like, what? Get
the
the
hell?
signs out. Let's go to the
Yeah.
one building that looks like Telstra Tower. And
And also, if you want to commit crimes, just get them all out before they make it impossible. So everyone's spending that last week just committing all these crimes. But yeah, you're right. If you were going to further outlaw crimes, or I guess prevent crimes completely in people's brains, people would be upset about it. And it's the kind of classic, like, well, if you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to fear. So if you're like, but I feel like I might want to do some crimes at some point, everyone's going to judge you.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, also, yeah. I mean,
Seconded.
Yeah, can't argue
The
with that.
yays have it.
The yays have it. Mitch, what do you say? Do you agree?
I'm just imagining like someone and they're like trying to feed their family, but they don't have any money, and they go to steal bread, and
just zaps
their
them.
brain starts bleeding.
Yeah, I want to see more movies where API just exists.
Me
As
too.
a foundational thing, but it's not a main part of the movie.
Now, if you're stealing bread, that's a classic example of like a crime that people would say can be justified if your family's starving, kind of thing.
Well, because they didn't say it was violent crime. And they didn't say it was like burglary or
speeding,
they just said crime.
jaywalking,
Yeah.
torrenting.
As long as you know it's a crime, I think.
Yeah.
Is the
You know what? Even logging into a Netflix account that you probably shouldn't have access to watch the movie Last Days of American Crime is probably a crime.
Which, I don't know if I said it before, should have been called The First Days of American Utopia. And I improved upon the title.
Anyway, this movie was really long, and we were not up for a 2.5 hour movie. We did watch it, and we hated it.
Yeah. I had my eyes shut for like, I hope it was a minute. I don't think I really did miss anything.
No, I don't.
You missed the ending. You went to
I
the
did miss,
bathroom.
well, I didn't really care at that point.
The very ending, yeah.
But I did hear about the ending. It was like a podcast that happened before this.
Well, we won't relitigate that again on the microphone, will we? But
No.
So our main guy. I don't think he had a name, did he? Oh yes,
Brick.
We did. Brick.
Brick.
His
name's
Brick.
Brick.
Bricky.
Yeah.
He had a name, all right.
His name
had
was
a-
Brick, but
His name was
with an E
Brick.
at the end.
Yeah, but that was in the captions. It was
In
an
the
E.
captions,
I
yeah.
don't know if there was anything in the movie to indicate it had to have an E, but I think it's based on a graphic novel, so maybe everyone's read it in the graphic novel.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know
Yeah.
that it's an E. Also, Brick, dumb name for a character, because dumb as a brick is a thing. So if everyone's like, hey, that guy's called Brick, I'm picturing he's huge, he's tough, but he's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, Brick's got to be his
That
surname.
would have been fun, though.
Brick has to be his surname.
Yeah, his first name was Rick.
Richard Brick. He's in the bar. He goes to the bar. It's an Irish bar. We've established that.
He meets a girl.
Oh yeah, girl comes in and Portishead starts playing. That's when we realize this movie's really got some budget.
Yeah, what's the Portishead song? How's it go?
Give me a reason.
to love you. Hold on a second.
So this scene was
I'll,
strange.
just while you guys are talking, I'll get that song.
Yeah. Pull it up.
So this, I guess, she's a bob
Here it is.
haircut, skinny. She comes up to Rick. She's obviously the babe of the movie. She's the Amber Heard of London Fields. For anyone who's listened
For any
to the
London
podcast
Fields head.
before. Yeah, London Fields
All
head.
my Fields heads out there, sound off.
For any of my herd heads.
They always say like every movie is one person's favorite movie, and I'm like, I can't imagine anyone having like a London Fields tattoo or poster in
I
their
don't know.
room.
Look at the Depp Dogs. Look at who's the other guy in that movie?
Billy
Doesn't
Bob
matter.
Thornton.
Billy Bob.
Oh wow, yeah.
Billy Bob, boys.
Holy hell.
Anyway, so our main guy in this movie, Brick, is at the bar, and this babe walks in, and she starts talking to him, and it's unclear to us whether they've met before or whether it's like an instant just connection. They start feeling each other's faces and touching each other's like bodies and
Scars.
stuff.
They're
and
like,
scars.
you've got a scar here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
dog
So,
bit me.
so the attraction is instant. Brick is, he's a scary gangster criminal type of guy, and she doesn't seem to be, but she's holding her own. And then she says something to him and invites him to, tick it off my list. I want to tick something off my list.
yeah,
Yeah.
And she walks to the bathroom. Now,
dirtiest
if you've
bathroom.
ever been walked to the bathroom by a hot woman in an Irish pub, at what I can only assume was about 11 a.m. This wasn't
direct sunlight.
Direct sunlight is coming in. This is not but I guess in a crime-filled world like this, anything can happen, right? So they have what I would describe as sex.
Intercourse.
Yeah, copulation. And it's ferocious, and it's up against the dirtiest ball or
30th wall.
bathroom wall that you've ever seen.
And that was that was still
within 2 minutes of the meeting.
Yeah. That like the song's still playing.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to picture what point in the song we're at. But
he's fully doing the old like carrying her up against the wall. What do you call that? She's off the ground.
Yeah. I mean,
he's holding her up.
Yeah, he's
and
holding
having
her
sex
up.
with her.
Stand
Yeah.
fucking, but he's not really holding her. The wall is doing
The
most
wall's
of the
doing
wall
half.
work.
Yeah,
Maybe there's
he's
a cubicle.
leveraged her back and buttocks against the wall and using that
Probably
to
10 good thrusts. And
Yeah.
This
and it's done.
podcast has genuinely showed me the worst sex scenes I've ever seen in my life. It's like torture.
What about the Dennis Rodman one?
The Dennis Rodman. Oh no,
yeah.
that rocks. That was the
Fun.
best. Okay, now I take that back. Actually,
We've seen
you know
some good
what?
ones.
So fun.
There was the Heather Graham ones in
I'd say that was
whatever
good
that
Did I
for.
miss how oh no, I remember now.
No, that was the one where it was basically a porno.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Heather Graham.
I remember the guests we had for the episode way more than I remember the name of the movie or what happened in it.
I always remember any time that we invite a guest on and then I watch the movie and I go, oh fuck.
Anyway, they have
to mention
three
sex.
sex scenes in this movie.
Then she looks in the mirror in the bathroom and he's doing his pants up and he's all disgusted with himself and everying. And she's
He's kind of just like he doesn't have that post sexual ecstasy where
He's not
he's like,
satisfied.
I'm in love or anything. He's got like the straightest
feels
action movie
used.
face. He's like, yeah, I do this all the time, bang strangers in bars.
Yeah.
And then he says to her, so what was the thing you wanted to tick off your list? Because you assume it's like have sex with a stranger or pick up a guy in a bathroom stall or whatever.
Yeah.
And her answer, Morgan, is
just fuck a loser. She wanted to fuck a loser.
yeah.
Which is all just big talk because we learn later on that she's a
got
whore.
And she's got a way more loser boyfriend. Like her actual boyfriend is definitely the definition of a loser.
Yeah.
So at what point in the movie did you stop questioning whether or not they'd met? Because I'm like, she might have known she should know who he was.
I think
Given
she
who she
said
was
something
dating.
to him in that scene maybe before they made Sweet Bathroom Love. I think she said something that we were like, oh, okay, they've literally just met for the
Right.
first time.
Oh no, you're talking about that he would have known that she was in a relationship with the other guy?
No,
she
she
would
would
have
have
known
known.
him. Okay.
Because
Yeah,
the
'cause
guy that she's dating is trying to recruit the main character.
And we don't know what city or state we're in, just that it's
Yeah.
close to Canada and that they refuse to acknowledge it. Anytime they show like police department power,
Yeah, it's all
descriptions,
generic.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just says
Yeah.
police department.
Yeah, they don't say the name of the
PD.
state or the city or anything.
But we can assume that the place doesn't have so much crime that you wouldn't, if you were in that world, you wouldn't know who these people were. Like, she's a cyber security hacker criminal lady. She's dating somebody who turns out to be the son of the most influential mobster in whatever city this is.
Yeah.
She would know who this guy is because he does jobs where he has to pay money to the mob boss of the town.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's totally unbelievable.
Well, and to segue into that, there is a very large movie star in this movie, a certain Mr. Pitt. There is it is famed Hollywood actor Michael Pitt.
Yes. I didn't know where you were going with
no
that,
idea
even
what
though
that was.
I'm totally aware of
I'm
who
like,
you were talking
I said
about.
the
I was
last
like,
name, man.
is he just setting up that
Is
Brad
he
Pitt
just
was like
going to
his
say-
face was in a poster in the background or something? No, but yes, Michael Pitt, who I know from Boardwalk Empire seasons 1 and 2. And
Nucky's protege.
yes, I think his name's Jimmy Darmondy.
Yeah,
is what
Jimmy
I remember.
Darmondy in that show. He
Or
was
Darmody,
He
one
was
of the
also in Funny Games,
The remake.
with Naomi Watts and Tim Roth, and he was also in a movie I watched on TV with Ryan Gosling that came out in the early 2000s. Can't remember what it was, but Ryan Gosling puts a gun up to his head at some point, and
This guy's had a lot of guns to his head. That seems to be
Yeah.
what happens in every movie he's in, because it happened in this movie numerous times, and it definitely happened in the end of season 2 of Boardwalk Empire.
And you guys were talking about his backstory as being a legitimately crazy, unhinged person.
Well, that's what he's also apparently been known for, his strange behavior. I think he was arrested after throwing things at people from a roof. And then I think he like
fought
beat a
someone
guy
and stole their phone.
Yeah, beat a guy up and was like, "Give me your phone."
Yeah. And this was recent. This was like last year.
This was
wasn't it?
last year. I think he's out now. I think he's. I saw him hugging people and playing with a dog. He seems to be doing
he's
well.
He's got that certain quality about his face, particularly his eyes. And I think the guy that plays the Scarecrow in
Cillian Murphy.
Is that his
Cillian
name?
Murphy.
Is it
sorry.
Cillian or Killian?
No, it
or
is
Cillian?
Cillian. I said it wrong.
But they both have
I'm
these,
so sorry,
these very
Cillian.
watery eyes that to me are indicative of mental unstable,
and very defined cheekbones and kind of like almost beautiful feminine-esque features, but like very striking to look at.
Yeah, like a real
those watery eyes. Like that's the kind of guy that if you want to hold a gun up to his head and just film it, because the eyes are already watering.
He'd be blubbering. He'd be blubbering. He'd do whatever you wanted.
Glassy eyes is what I'd say.
And so in this role, in this movie, he's playing the son of kind of like the head gangster of the town, I guess. And he himself is a criminal. He's been in jail recently. He was in jail with our main character's brother, who, quote, committed suicide in prison. We later find out that's not true and the police lied. But this character Michael Pitt plays has long hair and really gave me Jared Leto Joker vibes the whole time through. And for the first kind of half of the movie, he's just like an annoying guy. But then in the second half, he gets a bit more psycho. He ends up, I guess, long story short, it turns out that he banged his own stepmom.
And
he kills
sister.
his own dad. He shoots his own sister. And then he also he shoots everyone in this movie. He shoots the main character. He shoots the girl, the best friend of the main character. He just ends up going on a rampage. And
there's a line to tread with action movies and you know how much violence and aggression one person can take. Like obviously Hollywood movies are unrealistic, but they've set some sort of standard where you can accept
a certain level of abuse.
And be like, that's fine. But there are so many instances in this movie of people being shot like point blank with shotguns and then just getting up and being like clutching their
in fact,
stomach.
even the very first character that we talked about in the bathtub with the gasoline and the cigar, we see from outside that building that whole floor he's on gets exploded. And then 2 hours later, a guy with severe burns all over his face shows up and the tables are turned and he gets to torture the main character back.
That's right. He gets to eat an entire steak in front of this man.
Well cooked as well, not rare, the way this guy's burned.
Well, you know, they're in the bar, they have the fuck, then they come out, then they're introduced to that guy that we were just talking about.
Michael Pitt's character,
and you even said, like, in the first half of the movie, he's basically Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
He's just kind of obnoxious and annoying and talking about doing drugs all the time.
Yeah, he's likable but annoying.
But his plan, he's got the main plan of the whole story, which is they're going to rob like a bank or some safe that has millions of dollars, and then the idea is the safe is really close to the border, the Canadian border.
Yeah.
So they get in a truck and then they're going to drive before the API kicks in. That's the whole game, is like half an hour before it's activated.
Before crime
becomes illegal. and that's the whole plan. So you're going like, okay, it's kind of going to be a heist movie, and we already know there's a ticking clock. They have to get over the border because I guess in the world of this story, if you illegally cross the border to Canada, having just committed major crimes in the US, you are somehow like immune from prosecution, and you've got all the money you stole. So
yeah. And if you do it in a truck, like, who's going to bother stopping
Who's going to
that?
stop you? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's not like America goes into other countries just to strong arm them.
Yeah.
Like, that's not.
No.
Anyway, so
Never
you've
once.
got this trio. You've got main character, kind of bank robber, famous, hard man, no charisma. You've got Bob haircut girlfriend, who's Michael Pitt's girlfriend, and you've got Michael Pitt, and they're in a little three-way thing. And at the same time, the main character keeps banging the girl who is Michael Pitt's girlfriend. So there's that tension of like, oh my God, will this psycho find out what's going on? And the main plan of robbing that bank, they don't get to that for at least 2 hours after it's formulated. But there's a middle plan, which is like, I got to go see my dad, who I hate, who also shot me on my birthday, maybe?
You said something
Twice?
like that. And you've got to come with me.
Yeah, and you got to come with me. And I can't remember what they wanted to get out of this
Don't
meeting,
know.
but they go in, and it's like the dad
What
lives
do
in a
they-
mansion.
yeah, okay.
Don't know.
The dad lives in a mansion. There's like a dinner party going on, or again, it's middle of the day based on the sunlight.
Yeah.
So it's like a lunchtime party. There's all these people there. They go up to talk to the
First,
dad.
he's greeted by his sister.
Yeah.
Who gives him a big wet smooch on his mouth.
Yeah,
That does
he
happen.
kind of like spits it off, and he's like,
And then
"Duh,
he
duh."
says, "I told you, not in public," suggesting that they have been fucking.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
weird incestuous stuff going on in
There's
this
a lot
movie.
of stuff there, yeah.
But yeah, he confronts his dad. His dad starts saying, "Why the hell did you fuck your stepmom?" And then he's like, "Why did you kill her when you found out?" So there's all this murder and
Yeah, yeah.
sex going on in
I
this family.
introduced you to my stepmom. I was allowed to
Yeah.
fuck her. Was his logic?
And then
The sister does come in at
the
that
sister
point.
comes in, and they're all yelling and arguing.
She's like, "You want my tits? You want my..." Yeah, it's,
and then the dad pulls out a gun and he's going to shoot him in the back. He's going to shoot Michael Pitt in the back, and Michael Pitt grabs some sort of like, is it a letter opener, knife or something? Some weapon,
Tomahawk.
sharp thing. That's
yeah,
in the
it
office.
was a tomahawk.
Grabs a
little
tomahawk
mini
from
tomahawk
from the
thing.
wall.
Yeah, so he throws that at the same time that he gets shot by his dad, but he did get his dad in the head, and they both kind of collapse at the
Yeah,
same
they do
time.
a synchronized slump.
Yeah,
But he's okay. Not the main guy, but Jason Mewes' character.
Yeah, he's got a bullet wound, but he's just can still hobble around. I think it's in the shoulder or whatever.
Yeah. No, this is just one of those instances where he's fine. He's just okay.
Okay, just before we go on too much further, do you guys remember The Losers? The Losers with Chris Evans, Zoe Saldana, a lot of big actors from around 2005.
No.
It's a comic book adaptation.
Is James Gunn in it, or is that a different movie?
Quite possibly. No, you're thinking of of his superhero movie.
Yeah, what's that called?
The Supers. Or I don't know.
There's one that like Craig
Super Losers?
Mazin wrote that James Gunn is in.
Yeah.
That's
That's
I'm
the one
thinking
that we're. Yeah. Okay.
of. But that's not The Losers.
So essentially, it's a movie that was way better than this. Pretty similar.
Don't know if this is possible.
Everyone's their own criminal with a very specific kind of backstory, and they're all doing a heist. Now, it wasn't very popular because it's ultra-violent action movie based on a comic book that no one knew about. It wasn't a superhero thing. I just don't understand why in 2020 they went to do the same thing, but they made it like super fucking boring. Like it's two ends of the spectrum where you've got like comic book. Let's try to make it as palatable as possible. So like, let's use some Purge stuff, make it look like the Purge. But that didn't really work out for this movie. Or there's like The Losers, which is like colorful, color palette, really fun scenes, a lot of like really comedy kind of things. And I'm just like, what? Where was any of that in this movie? Because it is 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest slog of all time, and you've got no recognizable stars. You've got nothing to anchor you down. So you're wondering, why did they make the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's actually, as silly and unbelievable as a premise it is, it's still a fun premise, the idea of like
Yeah.
everybody. So I don't think we've even, did we? I know
Yeah.
we've talked about IPA. No, what's it called?
API. Yeah.
API.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and we did we summarized what that is.
We know the people know.
If people have listened this far, they know what this movie's all about.
So
They should
talked
also
about-
know that I was talking about the specials, which is
The specials.
like at least 10 years plus before the Losers, which is a 2010 movie with Idris Elba
2010.
and
There you go.
Zoe Saldana. Yeah.
We talked about the chips that you can voluntarily have implanted into your brain if you're a cop.
Yes, so cops are allowed to be immune from
The crime
the
thing.
crime thing, so they can commit crimes. Again, clearly there's something going on there. Someone's trying to make some kind of message, or there's something.
Yes.
You can tell
they're
that-
getting at something.
There's details in there, and you're like, that's probably
Yeah.
a movie.
There's points to be made, but they're not making these points.
They don't give a fuck.
It's just this is what is happening in the movie. Okay, what are we talking about? Is this an allegory for coronavirus lockdown laws? What is it? What are we
You know
doing?
what it feels like? And obviously I haven't read the graphic novel at all, but it's almost like the inverse of Sin City, where the whole
Okay.
the whole premise is the sin part is about to be wiped out and everything's going to be great, and the only people that would care about that are the criminals who make their livings robbing banks.
Okay.
Well, it's like it's a weird thing to go like, okay, the point of view of someone who like, oh, crime's illegal, and then you just have someone who's like literally not able to get out of the system. You know, some wire, you know, something from The Wire. That's something that would actually make sense with this story, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as sexy as this guy.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Can we also talk about the French element of the movie? Like
So
it feels like it was made by a French person. and it is French.
The head mob family is called Dubois.
Dubois.
That's how it's spelled.
Dubois?
But they all insist on calling it
Dumois.
Dumois, which is how you would pronounce it if you were French. But they keep calling it Dumois or Dumois because the director is French. This is my thinking. I didn't tell you.
Did
guys
we confirm that the director's
Yes,
French?
the director is French. He did
So
the
Megatron
Transporter
is a
3.
French name.
and he also took over the Taken franchise after Taken 1. He did 2 and 3.
Okay.
Oliver Megatron.
Olivier.
Olivier
That's the French
Megaton.
part.
So we know that he's French. We know that he's named this family the Dubois. But I reckon he's given the direction to all of these actors to mispronounce it because he's like, no, you see, silly Americans, you don't know how to say the name. Like, no, we do. We're saying it right. No, you must say it stupid, like stupid Americans. Do it dumb.
And they're just going, man, you're lucky crime is illegal because I would be punching you right now.
Yeah.
There were a few lines in there that sounded like they were directed by someone who didn't speak perfect English.
Yeah. So in that first bar scene, I think after he has sex with that woman, he meets up with somebody that we don't ever see ever again.
Yeah, just like a friend to buy some strange drug.
Yeah, he's kind of an old
I was
guy.
like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
It did happen.
Sorry. He's giving off a bit of a serious black vibe or something, you know, like he's got that devil may care handsomeness thing going on
Eccentric.
about him. Mid-50s, I'd say. But he presents our Brick with a neurotoxin, and we missed the details of what it did, but he did say something like, oh, you know, this is going to hurt whoever takes it permanently to death.
Yeah, that was the first one we were like, hey,
That,
what?
yeah. I think every line that guy said was like overwritten to the point of like, this guy just keeps talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he sells him these 2 large red pills, and then he also says, I hope you aren't intending to take these yourself. And so I was like, oh, is it a poison that will kill? Like, is it something he's going to feed to one of the bad guys to make them die? But again, we don't hear anything about these pills for a good 2 hours. They show up right at the end where the main character is kind of on death's door. The 2 bad guys have kind of shot him and left him to die, and then he takes these pills and gets up and shoots them. And it doesn't give him like superpowers or anything. It doesn't like put his body into hyperdrive or his eyes go red or, you know, he just seems to be able to get up and keep shooting now. Like, so, but it does kill him as well.
Yeah.
Spoilers, but he
I don't think that kills him.
I didn't understand why that had to happen, but he gets in the car at the end with the money in the truck. He's taking the pills. He gets a girl with him. They drive to Canada, and when they land in Canada, remember, free from immunity from all crimes, he just dies in the car seat, and she just gets out.
Yeah, but he got shot in the gut with a shotgun.
Yeah, but he took the pills.
He took the
But
pills
he
as
took
well.
a neurotoxin. He didn't take like Wolverine powers.
But he did say that it could hurt you to permanently dead.
That's true.
So-
That's true.
But you know the details in this movie that make no sense. Like, so he gave him these things, and we see very clearly there's 2 of them in this perfect little silver
Apple
aluminum
AirPods.
Yeah, like $600 earphone kind of things, and there's 2 of them in there. So we think, okay, maybe he's going to take one and give one to somebody else later in the movie. Maybe he's going to give them to 2 other people, sneak them into his drinks. He just takes both of them, like at the end of the movie.
And I never
He has
really got
1,
why
2.
he bought them anyway. Like, did he know he was going to be in a position where he would be nearly dead and just need that little
didn't have
extra
the plan.
Red Bull boost to like help him get through it?
He didn't have a plan at that point. I guess he knew about this IPA or API or whatever kind of beer it is, and he just was getting it as a safeguard.
And they were expensive drugs as well. It was like $4,000, I think the guy said.
Yeah, $4,000.
And when I buy drugs in the pub from like eccentric old men, That is expensive for only 2 pills.
Yes.
This is true. They usually charge
In the
half that.
hundreds, yeah.
Half that, yeah.
And so the French director is obviously putting Canada up in a pedestal as well,
Yeah,
saying,
the scenes in Ontario.
yeah, all the best shots are of the Ontario skylines and lakes and things like this. There were some other good songs in this movie as well.
Remember when they used
Underworld
the
songs as
Stooges
Oh,
one?
they had
Oh, they did
sex
have
to "I Want to Be Your Dog." That was the first sex scene.
They did a
wasn't it?
remix to the Stooges, "I Want to Be Your Dog," or it was another band doing it. They had a song by Underworld, I think.
Yeah, there was an Underworld song.
The Jesus song.
It was not it was not Born Slippy.
Nah. Personal Jesus. That's what it was.
Personal
Oh
Jesus.
yes,
Yeah.
and remember there was also a line where it said,
You don't get to play Jesus.
yeah,
And by like,
instead of like you're playing God or you're
Yeah.
acting God, yeah.
I don't remember what the context was.
You don't get to play Jesus.
You
was
don't
the
get to
line,
play
yeah.
Jesus.
Who was that woman
Which would
who
be
said that?
that's more because saying that to somebody is more like
Being a martyr or something.
no.
right?
I would think maybe it's probably a good one, but I was thinking more like you don't get to be the lead role in
in Jesus Christ Superstar the musical.
yeah, or the manger thing. You know, what's that thing that people do where they pretend about the birth of Jesus? What do they call that? Nativity scene.
Nativity
Yeah.
scene.
You don't
yeah.
get to play Jesus.
Yeah.
What did you say? What is that bullshit people do?
Is that what I said?
No, he didn't say bullshit. He would never have said bullshit. And by the way, Jesus would be the worst role in the nativity scene because firstly, you're not there until you get born, and when you are, you're just a baby.
You're
You
just a
don't
little
get you don't
baby.
get any lines or
Yeah.
anything.
You don't get a flash forward.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get to play Jesus. You're like 40 years old. Dude.
So yeah, I guess this movie it's a real gift for a Charlton Copley fan.
Oh yeah, we
Fan?
forgot to say that.
Yeah, Charlton Copley is in this movie. If you don't know who that is,
don't know who
he
that
was the lead in District 9.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about the fucking prawns
Yeah,
in that movie.
So Morgan had a really funny reference to this in real life recently that
He
he
did.
told me about.
Yeah, there's this guy that so I help people with their workers' compensation claims, and this guy was working at a deli, and he got something stuck in his finger, and he called me up, and he was like, "Hello, this is I'm going to say to you what has happened." He's a very needy old man. As well.
Yeah.
He calls me constantly and is always giving me updates. So partly annoying, partly charming, these kind of people to me. But he was telling me about this incident at work, and he just keeps repeating like, "I've got a prawn stuck in my finger. I was moving this from here to here, and when I got it in there, I can't get it out. My wife has tried to remove the prawn several times, and it's just not working for me, Morgan. What is the process? How can I get this prawn removed, sir?" And I'm like, that's already funny enough. Just the idea that somebody got their prawn stuck in the finger, and on top of that, he's got a South African accent. Two very funny individuals. But I'm like, there's another layer here. I know there's something going on here.
You're trying to explain it to people at work.
explaining
You're
it
like,
at
why
work.
is this funny outside of these two reasons?
Yeah. And they're just like, they don't understand. They don't get it.
But then you rewatch District 9 and
Yeah.
it all falls into place.
Something happened where I saw a District 9 thing, and yeah, it all made sense.
But Charlton Copley in this, he's not doing a South African accent. He's doing like an American accent. His character sucks and has very little. You could cut that character out completely and it would change. Not
yeah,
change
it
the
doesn't
movie at
change
all.
anything. He's in I think 4 scenes because it's the
But it
first.
feels like it cuts away to him. Remember,
Oh, yeah.
it's like this is the other lead character you need to know about,
Yeah.
who's important because he's a cop, and he's really not. He does get into a fight with the girl character, like they have an interaction, but besides that, I don't even think he
Yeah.
meets the other two main guys.
He's neither hero nor villain.
Yeah.
He really isn't.
well, no,
Neither here nor there, nor hero nor villain.
All we know is he's incompetent because the scene that he's introduced, we get an internal shot of, I think, a
that's
prison.
right.
And,
no,
and
it's police
It's
station.
police station. Yeah.
It's a police station. It's a really
There's a
gritty
woman
one.
robbing
Looks
it?
underworld. Looks underground.
Everyone from the office is like in the back.
Everybody's there, and the chief is giving a speech about how in 2 days' time, none of you will have a job because Washington DC is basically going to just survey that API,
Yeah.
and we're not going to need cops anymore. So everybody's like, oh shit. And then this guy, the one guy that's left to just man the desks and see anybody coming into the building, is approached by this woman who looks like a whore, and
she's like a junkie or something, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a hooer.
No,
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, maybe
junkie,
to
sure.
get money for her drugs, she would be prostuting herself. I can see that.
Yeah, the implied hooking.
Yeah. She's wearing a Shamali t-shirt. And she comes in and is like, please help me. She's covered in blood and stuff like that. And so he leaves this area with all these desks and papers and presumably guns inside the desks to go and alert the sergeant like, hey, there's a woman here. I think we should help her. Doesn't take the woman with her, returns back there. She is indeed behind the desk holding a gun and basically says, get into that cell. And then another guy pops out.
She has like a boyfriend who's waiting around the corner who puts a gun to her head. And he's like, all right. And then our main cop, Charlotte Copy, somehow gets the upper hand on him and just shoots him in the head, right?
Yeah. Shoots him in the head. Chin. And then the other cop, the sergeant, comes in. He's like,
it was the best bit.
I think you'd better go home.
Yeah. So he goes, he had a gun.
Yeah.
And then the other cops are just like, you should go.
Yeah, you should go home. Man.
Yeah. And then later on, one of the other times we see this cop, we're like at his house and he has like newspaper clippings and one of them says, why did cop shoot or something? Did cop need to shoot or something? And he's like printed that and
the headline was literally, why did cop shoot?
Again, like the kind of broken English. I know newspaper headlines do have a certain like style, but that was very like kindergarten style.
But also, don't cut that out and put it on your wall.
Yeah. That's what you do when it's a trophy or like a cop saves child from burning building or something. This was why did cop shoot? And it was an article about him like murdering someone.
Why did the cop shoot?
The next 3 scenes of him are him seeing the chip being inserted to other people and lining up for it.
Yeah.
And it cuts back and forth to that for some reason. And then there's 2 clips of him in the car. It's not one scene. They cut back and forth of him getting a call about the main character woman.
Yeah.
And then we're there.
Yeah. So then
there's nothing else.
Then we get to her.
Unless I'm missing something.
Oh, we've missed stuff, but
no, I mean on him. On him.
Yeah.
On him.
There is one point where he decides he wants the chip as well.
Yeah, that's when he's lining up for the chip, right?
So then I think we get to her going into this building, which is, so every time they show us this building, it's clear that this is where the satellite frequency that it's going to take over people's brains is emanating from. It's a central point.
Oh, and she's a hacker.
And she's also a hacker. She
Sorry,
hacked the FBI. She hacked the MIT.
Also a husband.
Yeah.
She hacked her husband. Yeah.
That's how they met.
And she also has a young sister that she's really trying to help.
Oh, yeah. The sister's gotten across the border to Canada, so that's nice.
She gets her across in the movie, yeah.
She approaches this building, which now does have protesters out the front of it because it's an hour beforehand.
It's the last day,
update, and all of a sudden people are like, what? No, don't take our freedom away. And lots of armed guards surrounding this building. She walks in, and because she's a woman, presumably, this man goes, are you okay? And she's like, I just didn't know where else to go. And he's like, come inside the top secret building where in 1 hour we're about to start the API, and just lets her in.
Yeah, I honestly thought that this was like another one of the affairs she was having with someone on the inside. Mm-hmm. But it definitely could have been that she'd never met this guy before and seduced him because she just wanted to get access.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm going to hate to give the movie credit, but I do think that there was I at least thought that I'd slept through something when they brought out that relationship, because like that was clear that they had a familiarity with each other.
I thought so. I thought so.
Okay.
Or I mean, why would he have a ball gag in his office? Well, unless this is
no, because then they go into his office and he's like, everything's going to be okay. It's all right. And then he kind of starts taking advantage of her.
Right.
And then she says like, or he's getting very close to her and obviously wants to kiss her and probably a little bit more after that. But she does say like, thank you. You just made this next part a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Suggesting to me that they don't have any previous sexual relationship because he's now stepping over the line, which would have already been crossed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So she's like, now that you've broken the the rules of
of
nice
me
manners.
being a vulnerable person and you being
now
the
I can
protector of a vulnerable
like I can
person.
tie you up and I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, and she does.
And she does just that.
She does just that.
But yeah, most other scenes, honestly, yeah, with her, she is surrounded by a lot of predators in this movie. It's pretty creepy. It's not something
many people take advantage of her.
Yeah, two cops at
Or
one
treat her
point.
like shit. There's multiple scenes where people are just grabbing her and passing her around.
Yeah.
By like the neck
By
and
the
the,
back
the
of the
head and grabbing her cheeks and stuff. You just feel bad for the poor lady.
Yeah.
And
I don't
they,
think
and
she
they make her
endures-
get naked like 3 different times for sex
Yeah.
scenes as well. So
Yeah. And she
as
literally-
the actual directors in the real
Yeah.
movie did that.
So the director is clearly on the side of all the creeps that treat her badly because he does the same thing to the
Yeah.
actress.
Yeah, yeah.
but he's French.
It's the French way.
It's the
and
French
she does open up
way.
to BRICKE in, I want to say, the beginning of the second act when after they've had sex the second time, it's confirmed that she doesn't think he's a loser.
Yeah.
She says, like, I'm sorry, I don't trust anyone. It's not my fault. My dad was a shitty dad.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
more people came into my life that treated me like shit. So I don't trust anyone. It's not my fault. Which to me...
That's deep character work, my friend.
Yeah.
You
Look,
can't get any deeper.
Yeah, but
Bit of
is
self-expression.
it not her fault? Because there's a pattern, and she's
Yeah, I mean, I do hate a scene where someone's just like, "Was I terrible to you? That's because of my past." See,
Yeah.
my daddy was a drinker.
once you're aware of a problem, you've got to work on it, guys. You've got to fix it.
You can't just lay the excuse down. Now, the other part is that every time this female character meets up with our main character, they've been beaten up, they've been shooting each other or other people, they're covered in blood, and then they have like a passionate kiss, which is just disgusting. Like their faces covered in literal other people's dirt and blood. They've got scabs, they're sweaty, and then they kiss, and you're like, you're merging other people's blood in your mouths.
Yeah.
There's hepatitis to consider. And then there's a part where our main character has like, a clip off his ear. I don't know, I can't remember what causes it, a bullet or whatever.
He got shot.
Yeah.
After he gets shot in the stomach with the shotgun, he also gets shot in the ear with a shotgun, but it only takes off a little
Yeah,
bit.
it takes a little chip out, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty good makeup effect. But there's
Far
a point
away.
where she's kissing his head and his mouth, and she's rubbing her hand through his ear, including up and around the hole in the ear, which is very fresh.
Yeah, she's kind of fondling
and
the hole.
that would be painful.
I don't know why.
Absolutely.
When you said kissing his head, I just imagined the mole man kiss, just kissing his forehead.
Kissing
being
his
like,
forehead.
kissing
Tastes
your
like a
penis.
pig.
Anyway,
I think there's one more key point that we got to talk about, which is that
We have to.
the BRICKE and Jason Mewes get into the bank vault. They blow up this. They blow up the lock. Then Ross, his good friend, comes in. Ross is a good trooper, a good
yeah,
friend.
Ross is a good guy.
He hasn't
solid.
had a single line.
Hasn't had a single line.
But our main character brought him in. And even in the scene where he convinced him to join for this heist, I don't think the guy said even yes or no. He just was sitting, smoking a cigarette on the roof. He's like, I think you'd be good for this. I think we're going to do this. We're going to take the money. We're going to go to Canada. And then the guy just kind of like nods. And
Yeah.
I don't remember him getting a single line.
No, but
Well,
I accept it, and I believe it.
called cheaper.
Yeah, he's technically an extra.
Featured extra.
So him and Ross and Jason Mewes, they blow up all these things. They steal all this money. They go and load it into the truck. And then that's just as the API gets turned on. So they all start freaking out. They can't commit any more crimes. But it turns out that Jason Mewes,
Michael Pitt.
J/Silent Bob / Michael Pitt / Brad Pitt, can actually still commit crimes. And he starts beating the shit out of this guy
Yeah.
and telling him like, look, man, when me and your brother was in prison, the guards used to make us fight each other.
Yeah,
They used to
so-
make us do the most, what do you say? They used to make us do the most fucked up shit. And then it's just shots of them punching each other.
Yeah. I really thought that it was going to be like shit on his face and eat it.
Yeah.
Like, but it was just them. They made him do like a little underground fight club. And the reason the cops made them do that is because they were testing the API technology
Yeah.
on these prisoners who had volunteered for it. So they've put the thing inside their brains. They're making them fight, and then they turn it on to see if they stop fighting because that's a crime.
So then in the middle of this montage of him getting his face beaten in by this guy's brother, he goes like, now you ever read William Burroughs? William Burroughs used to talk about morality. He used to talk about the difference between right and wrong. He used to talk about anyway. When I decided that nothing meant anything, it meant I could do whatever I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's got a cop in their head, even a psychopath like me.
So he's basically found a way to like fight through the brain thing.
Yeah.
And because he's
Yeah.
had it so long and he had the experimental version, he's kind of immune to it when it kicks in. And then he just starts killing everybody and then he gets killed. So
Then
whatever.
Then he gets killed.
They all die. Our main
then
guy
there's two
gets
cops that took advantage of that girl earlier on.
Yeah.
Come and kill him. Then Brick
Yeah.
takes out the two neurotoxins,
Yeah.
takes them, then kills the two cops, gets in the truck, drives across the border, gets 1 mile from the border, turns around, comes back to pick up the girl, gets the girl, drives back to the border. This movie is a 4 out of 10 for me. Story as old as time.
A story as stale as time. Oh shit! Yeah, we used to give these ratings.
We
didn't
did.
We get the old
You gave it a
rating
4
machine.
out of 10?
I don't think I said that. Wind back the tape.
You definitely
You
said.
gave it a 4 out of 5?
I did say something. I did say some words.
I mean,
I love
it's,
that. I love that idea though of just being like, I read a book by William S. Burroughs, and tangentially, I was then exposed to the idea of nihilism. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want.
the idea that he needed to understand that laws are made up.
yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
this is just some shit some guy wrote down.
Wait, you're saying it's your rules, not the rules that my brain made up?
Wait,
Okay.
whoa, wow.
Yeah, we were saying it's like the George Costanza rule. It's not a crime if you think it's legal.
Wait, but that's their rules, okay? That's their rules.
I'm actually going to give this one out of 10.
That sounds like a 4 to me, Morgan.
I think something's broken in me. That made me laugh. What?
I was very disappointed that this movie, when I turned it on, said 2.5 hours. Like that's
we
almost
all
a
were.
whole second movie we could have watched. And these movies are hard to watch, but we got through it. It was I was surprised at how not bad it was. You know, like it was boring,
Yeah, it was
but
kinda fun.
and you could definitely tell it was cobbled together in parts.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, it seemed like a fairly budgeted movie, and it was a Netflix movie. It's recent, so it's easier to get through than some of the old ones, I find. Like, even though it wasn't good, I'm surprised that I'm not that surprised that no critics gave it a positive rating. But I think there would be some audience people out there that were like, "That was pretty sick. It had
they
some
would-
guns,
Would-
had some titties, had some
maybe.
explosions."
Like a Vin Diesel movie or something, you know? Entire sequences or
Bloodshot,
characters that
yeah.
you don't necessarily need, but are fine, I
But
guess.
just no stars and no kind of like Michael Pitt is putting on a performance. He's the only one that I feel like is probably doing his own thing as well half the time. Like, it seems like
Yeah.
he's not necessarily being directed to do that. He's just like, I've decided how I'm going to play this.
Yeah.
But I found
Yeah.
him entertaining, even
Yeah.
a little unnerving. Like, I don't want to hang out with that guy. I feel like
Yeah.
he'd have a scary energy. He'd be like, we're staying up all night. I'm just going to meet some gangsters. I'm going to bring in all these crazy drugs. I'm going to go party with these models. And you just can't control a guy like that. So if you get him on your set, you just let him grow his hair out and pretend to be the Joker. That's what I
Yeah,
would
let
say.
him run. Let him do
Yeah.
his Jerry Lewis impression.
So with Morgan's 4 out of 10,
I can't say
I'm
that.
gonna give it not far off that. I'm gonna give it 4.1 out of 10.
What the hell?
Yeah, man.
What have you done above 4?
I'm just looking at the Queen's Corgi. I gave a 5.1. So
That was pretty fun.
It was pretty fun.
yeah,
We
and
all-
I
think
gave
we all had fun with that
I
one.
gave Precious Cargo a 6.1. I reckon this was better than Precious Cargo, but it was twice as long. So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
look, whatever.
You gave Precious Cargo a 6.1?
Yeah, who knows what I was thinking? These movies do
I don't know
damage
how
to your
you even
brain.
remember
Yeah.
what that is.
I think I gave...
That was the Bruce Willis one, I think, wasn't it?
I've given like... yeah, that
Oh,
was
no,
the Bruce
no.
Willis one. Yeah, what year? That's Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Stratton was the other
Oh,
one.
Precious
Stratton was the
Cargo
other
was
one.
worse than this.
Way worse. Yeah, bro.
But
What
that,
the
it
fuck?
suffered from the same thing of like you can get hit by lots of bullets and be
Yeah.
fine. Like I think
Yeah.
in the first
Oh, it was
scene,
pretty
somebody
funny,
was shot
yeah.
in the face. by
Look,
a
if this
sniper
movie was 90 minutes, I think I'd be giving it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
rifle. Yeah, it could have been good.
I'm going to give this one a more realistic rating. Actually, no. I'll give it a bump for that one scene where it was at the what's the crime family's name again? The Dumois,
The Dumois
family
family,
complex. And
Where
where they're all where everyone's screaming and it's all just really funny lines. I really like that.
Yeah, you guys were cracking up at that.
I was laughing, mate. Yeah, we took it back. You were out of the room.
Yeah.
We were like, Declan, run back in.
Yeah,
You made us rewind. You wanted to see it
good
again.
sequence.
I don't know. It feels like ratings are pretty arbitrary at this point,
Yeah,
so I'm going to go
definitely.
3.8.
The fine, mighty 3.8.
A real apple bite.
I guess the real question is, if anyone's listening to this podcast and they have Netflix, should they watch this movie?
Oh,
No.
definitely.
What?
I think
well,
people
if you
There's a lot better stuff on Netflix to watch than this.
I honestly think the best way to enjoy this podcast and the best way to watch any of these movies is to not do either of those things. No, is listen to the podcast and watch the movie at the same time. Because even though we don't talk about things sequentially,
yeah, it doesn't matter with this. I don't think there's a single one other than maybe Highlander 2 that any of us have been like, you just watch the movie.
that was fun. That
Highlander
was
2 rocks.
really colourful and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watch them so you don't have to, and that is the Truly Rotten Potatoes Screed.
Australia's hardest podcast. Can you put a phaser on my voice when I say hardest?